In this video, we're going to learn about two more interesting people, our local blacksmith and the inspiration for our very own Mary Woodward Elementary School.
John Gaarde was something of a local hero in the town that started out as East Butte and then was called Tigardville. John was born in a European country called Denmark in 1864. When John was 14 years old, he became an apprentice to a blacksmith and learned how to make things out of iron. He worked with that blacksmith for 4 years until he was 18. He wanted to leave Europe then, but he was drafted, or required to enter, into the military. In the military, John became a medic and learned to treat wounds. John finally left Europe when he was 21 and headed straight for the United States. He eventually settled in the little town of East Butte, across the street from the Tigard family. Elmer's restaurant is now located in the same spot where John Gaarde chose to build his own blacksmith shop all those years ago. John soon became known for his great ability to make or fix anything made of metal. John was also a friend to the children in the community. He was known as a man who could fix any toy. Little Grace Tigard, Charles Tigard's daughter, loved to watch him work at the forge. She would watch him stoke the great fire and pull the red-hot metal out. As he hit the metal with his hammer, sparks would fly, and Grace would stomp them out with her bare feet. Thanks to his training as a medic, John was also known as a man with medical knowledge. He was even able to save the lives of some of his neighbors. One time, a man named Mr. Kiemeyer fell off of a wagon of hay. The wagon rolled over Mr. Kiemeyer, severely injuring him. Some neighbors rode by and found him lying in the road. Assuming he was dead, they dropped his body off at a friend's house, but decided to let John know about the accident, just in case something could be done. John hurried over and was able to treat the man's wounds and save his life. John's medical experience didn't extend to childbirth, however. When his wife was ready to give birth to their first son, Hans, John drove all day to go get the doctor from Beaverton. By the time John arrived home with the doctor, Hans had already been born. In an odd twist, the first telephone in Tigardville was installed the very next day. Had Hans been born one day later, his dad could have just phoned for the doctor to come. John was sometimes called upon to save members of his own family, as well as his neighbors. When his son, Hans, got older, he sometimes made mischief. One time, Hans found his dad's climbing belt and tools. He used the equipment to climb to the top of a telephone pole. Unfortunately, once he got up there, he got stuck. John had to climb the pole and help his son down. In addition to being the town blacksmith and medic, John had one other role. Each year on the 4th of July, John would roll out a big cannon and shoot it with a loud boom. This signaled the beginning of the 4th of July celebration. The town folks would then gather under some trees to eat a picnic and listen to music played by local musicians. John Gaarde really was a hero to East Butte. He built and repaired items for his neighbors. He helped children and saved the lives of those who were injured. It's really no wonder that Gaarde Street was eventually named after him. Mary Alice Woodward was another important member of Tigard's community. Mary Woodward was born in New York in 1893, but lived in Tigard for 26 years. She was a teacher and journalist, which means she wrote articles for newspaper and taught other people how to write. She helped begin a group called Oregon Press Women, which helped women in Oregon to become writers. She even won an award for her work with that group. Mary Woodward also loved the environment and worked to beautify the town of Tigard. She was known as the Tree Lady because she worked to help plant many of the trees that are growing in Tigard today. She started an Arbor Day writing contest with the Tigard schools. Tigard children would write essays about the environment and could earn cash prizes. The winners were announced at an annual Arbor Day ceremony in Cook Park. All children were welcome to come to the ceremony and help plant the trees that grow in Cook Park today. In 1979, the Tigard School District dedicated their new school to Mary Woodward.